Hello, everybody. It's Brenda Miller, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. And I go live every Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. That's Eastern Time. And always love to share with you whatever I'm working on or some sneak peeks sometimes, like today, and well, all different kinds of things. So here I am today, and today I am featuring a sneak peek from our upcoming mini catalog. It goes live September 6th, but I have a copy now, and so do many of you. If you need a copy, please reach out to me via email, and I will do my best to get one to you. Let's go ahead and let me show you what I'm going to be making today. Let's see. Let's flip over. And so this is the front of the catalog, and this is a stamp set that's included in the catalog. So this is, the main part of the catalog is holiday. Okay, so they're focusing on holiday. There are some others, and I'm going to show some of those in upcoming videos. But for today, we're going to focus on this Christmas Classics. It is actually a bundle, and so this is the stamp set. What a beautiful font for this season's greetings, deck the halls, peace on earth, and then Christmas, which can coordinate with these basic sentiments, and a sprig and some holly. But check out what we have inside. Well, it doesn't come inside. I keep mine together inside. It's actually two different sheets of die cuts. We have this very, very cool focal point for a card, right? You could just need some paper and this, and you're done. But anyway, this has the holly on the sides and some berries, and it also comes with the inside, so you can layer these up and stamp your sentiment on here. So I just love that. And not only that, but we have another one just like that same idea. This is the focal point, so you can do this in a green. It has the greenery going around the outside, and then it has this very fun shaped square, but it's a square but with the angled edges, and that's where you can stamp your sentiment. It also comes with some leaves, some holly leaves, and this is to if you stamp this sprig. Let me show you. I know I'm trying to find better words for these things, but on a fir tree, I'm going to call that a sprig, branch. Anyway, you can die cut that out, and it also comes with these fun little accents. These are two sets of the little berries, and you can die cut them, separate them, or keep them together. But anyway, oh, and these little sprigs can be, they cut out the little holes. You see these little holes? I'm going to have to use this one time. I didn't use it today. But this can create a back on your background. It just cuts out the little teeny tiny holes. So not that you would want all these little tiny pieces, but what you want is the effect that it gives after you take that away. And it has two different ones. So we'll show you some of those, not today again, but another day. Anyway, so that is the bundle that we are working with today. And the card we are making is one that I had the honor this weekend of having Sarah Douglas, the CEO of Stampin' Up. She came to my team meeting this weekend, and at our team meeting, we made it more of a big day, right? Because it's not every day that Sarah Douglas comes to your team meeting. So we did we had 5 stations of cards and things to make, and this was one of the stations. And so I'm very excited to share with you how we made this card. And very lucky for me is that we over prepared, because of course you don't want to get short when you've got a celebrity guest. So I have all my pieces together in a nice little envelope. And I just realized, because what's alive without forgetting something? I forgot an ink pad that I needed and a book. All right. So, whoops, sorry about that. Bumped right into my desk. I'm lucky to work in my craft room where I have a crafting station behind me, and in front of me I have a computer and everything. So it's all a little squishy, but we make it work. Anyway, so this is our card base, and I'll show you the pieces as we go along. And this is Pretty Peacock, just folded in half as you normally would. And then we're going to put a white piece on the inside. Again, I like to put white pieces on the inside whenever the cardstock is dark, so that you don't need any special gel pens or anything to write on it. So there we go. I put some glue on there. And now we have the inside of our card. And now, when I close up the card, we're going to use Pretty Peacock ink. And when you use tone on tone or color on color, what you create is a subtle background, something that almost looks like a watermark for a card. And I'm going to take my sprigs, okay, from the stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp around the edges of the card. My helpers helped me. I had some ladies on my team. Shout out to Sue and Allison and Lois and Linda. They helped me design these cards and helped me realize that this is the way that I wanted to do my sprigs, my branches, fir branches going around. All right, so see how that's like a tone on tone? Now it does look like it's a big difference, but with some colors it's more subtle than others. But anyway, I just love the way that looks. And now I'm going to take a piece of our designer series paper. Now let's talk about this designer series paper. And I did not bring over the rest of the pack, but you will see that throughout the month, because there is a packet of designer series paper. Actually, I do have some I can grab right here. And $3 from the sale of these packs of 12 by 12 papers will go to people in need. Stampin' Up! They're doing this. It's a consumable product, right? We go through it a lot more, so therefore they'll be giving away a whole lot more in terms of money given. And when I talked to Sarah about it this weekend, she said she's been feeling like the company hasn't been giving away enough. They want to give more money, give back to the communities. And so by choosing to do it with a consumable product, they are able to do a whole lot more. So I'm very excited about this. In the past, they've had non-consumable products, so people only really, if I could get them to buy any, they would buy one. Now for this, I've already bought myself 5 packages of this through other people, and I can tell you that I'm going to be using these on lots of different projects, mostly because it's holiday paper that goes with several different stamp sets in the catalog. And I'll just show you some of the designs. So this is the same design as this with the white berries. This looks like snowflakes. These are some stripes, and I know I showed these, and I think I talked about them a little bit last week, but check out the polar bears. And one of the things that we have in the new catalog is we have a punch that will punch this polar bear out. And so we have a couple of sheets with that polar bear. Here's another one. And on the flip side of this are some trees, mini trees. So we have a stamp set that has not a stamp set, a die, a large die that has little mini trees cut out. And this would be a great background for that. And then we have this sheet that has trees on it. And we have trees that look like these. They're kind of the same shape as these that we'll cut out. Now there are 2 more sheets that I don't have samples of right in my hands, but just know that there's another sheet with berries on it and another sheet with trees, like in that same design, similar design, I should say. So I think you're going to find a lot of use for that paper. It's called A Walk in the Forest, and again, you'll be seeing a lot of that. So that being said, there we go. We got some snowflakes on the back. We're going to go ahead and put this piece on the front of the card, right down in the center. Not sure if there's an up and a down on this, but that's how I'm going to put it. There we go. Okay, and as I mentioned, because we did this for a class, we pre-cut a lot of the pieces because we knew that we needed to get through 5 cards. Everybody had a half hour at each station. Turned out it worked out perfectly, but if everybody had to die cut their own pieces, that would have taken a lot. So let's show you what the die cut pieces were. So as I talked about, here's that one that has the holly berries. I just love that they're the outlines of the leaves, that you can see right through them. And I love that it's an automatic mat for the piece that we're going to stamp our sentiment on. So those will go together like that. Right? And then we have some holly leaves, and I just love holly leaves in any way, shape, or form. I just think that they're really pretty. They definitely shout Christmas, right? Just the shape of them. Anytime you see them, that's what you think of. And so I love that. So let me show you how I put this all together. And this turns out this was a super easy card for everybody to make, and it went really fast because everything was done. I'm just going to flip it over. So I'm going to the back side, and I'm just going to put a little adhesive so that I can add my holly leaves. I think I just did them just on a different angle so that they could show through some. So they're just really in the background. See how I've done that? I might have put them in a different place. I could move them around. That's the one thing with wet glue, is that I can move them around. And then I'm going to take some dimensionals, of which I know right here I have many packages, many pieces. Oh, here's an empty sheet. Let's see. There. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back. Here they are. Lots and lots of dimensionals. No shortage. All right, so I'm going to use up the edges on the sheet. So I'm just going to put a piece there, and then I'll take a regular dimensional from this one so that I can put this on my card. And this has become my focal point, right? So everything is pointing to getting to what the focal point of the card is. And note how this fits right on there. So this is about 4 inches wide. So it fits on the card like that. You could also do it, of course, the other way, meaning like that, right? You could if you wanted to. But we did it this way. Then I'm going to take my white piece. Again, this was die cut. I love its rounded corners, so it's not just a plain piece of white paper. And I took out the Season's Greetings stamp. And to be honest, when I saw this, I was like, okay, that's like my favorite stamp in the whole catalog. I just love that it's a fun font. It's not something just very basic. And I stamped it. This is real red ink that I use. All right, I'm going to take that and I'm going to add it to the front. And voila. Here we have our card. Now that looks terrific just like that, but of course we want to add a little bling. So check out this bling. It is our loose holly gems and sequins. Look what's inside. Look at all that goodness inside. We have little Christmas trees. Wah! Of course, everything's sticking to me now. There you go. Can you see the little, these are both Christmas trees. And we have musical notes. The gold ones are musical notes. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. See that under my camera? Yay. And then we have these lovely gems. And these gems, whoops, I took out a new, look what happens. I took out a new take your pick tool and I screwed it on, and it wasn't coming out. So I just kept turning it, and look what happens. You get a big lump of that putty at the end, but that's okay. You just swish it down like that. Every time when you buy a take your pick tool, it comes with 2 putty ends, and you can also replace them. But I'm still working on my first sets. I have 6 take your pick tools. I learned that this weekend. So here we have, whoops, let's just put it here. Here we have a sweet little red sequin, or no, It's not really a sequin, but it's very shiny. And I want to show you a couple of different ways that you can apply these to your card. The first one, I'm just going to use our regular glue. Now you could also use our clear, fine tipped glue that works really nicely. And I actually like that. And if I would have thought of it earlier, I would have pulled that out because I hate when I do this. I gotta flip it over. Got to get it so that we can put it down, right? So we want to pick it up with the red side, right? And we're just going to lay it down and it releases, and so then we can have our little sequin there. Okay, the other way that you can do it is you can take a glue dot. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. Love, love, love Paper Pumpkin. And one of the things that they include as the regular adhesive in the Paper Pumpkin kit are these little glue dots. Now, you can use, they're the same as our mini glue dots that we sell in the catalog. It's just that ours, when we sell it, it comes on a spool, so we could do that. But instead, we're using the ones that are included in the Paper Pumpkin kit because you can lay it down. So I peeled it off of here, and then it just has some protective backing, and you just take that off, and then you end up with those little pieces all over your house. But, you know, par for the course. So now I'm just going to take another sequin. And the thing I like about using glue dots is that it's dry and it won't move. And if I can pick up my, it's really not that hard. I'm making it harder than it is. So there we go. So we have our sequin. So that's another way that you can apply the sequin to your project. Now, if you say, oh my God, that's just too much, you know, fishing out those little red circles. I get it. I'm usually like that, which is really kind of funny that I chose to use these, but I love the way they shine. These are super shiny. But another way you can get red dots all over your project, if that's what you want, is by using our pearlized enamel effect basics. Boy, sorry about that. I was missed that. So you can use these. And this is the basics. They come in white and black and red, real red. And they also, let me show you where they are in the catalog too, because you might not have realized what they were. They are on page 137. And here, can you see that? So here are the red, the black, and the white. And then these are gold, silver, and copper. You see that? So there are different sets. Each set is $15, but it lasts a really, really long time because look what you do. Now, I used this all last season. I used it for classes. I used it for swaps. I used it for everything, and I still have lots left in this bottle. And all you need to do is, I call it, it's like, have you ever been to the Hershey factory, chocolate factory in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and they take you through the tour, and one of the first questions they ask you is, why are kisses called kisses? It's because when the chocolate is squeezed onto from the machine to the wrappers, it makes a kissing sound. It goes mwah, and so you end up with like a little kiss shape. Can you see how that's kind of kiss shaped? However, with this, we're lucky that it rounds out. As it dries, it gets rounder. If you really wanted a kiss shape, I don't know how you would get it to stay. But so instead of using these gems, you could use this. The only thing is you have to let it dry for quite a while. I usually leave it for, I line them up on my table and I just let them dry either overnight or I think when I made my swap cards this week, I did only about an hour and a half or so before I took the chance and stacked them up. But anyway, those are just some options on adding berries. The other thing is when I did my swap cards, I actually put it onto the berries themselves. That's what I used it for. So see how there are berries here? Here I was bragging on how much is in here. There is a lot in here still, but you can see that you can just add it like this. Because when I see these berries, it says to me, come on, you need to make them red. Now there are berries that you can you could cut out, and two of them need to be cut apart, and that is just more work than I was willing to do. But using these enamel effects, I mean, I can go a little crazy, but see how fun that is when you add them like that. Fun, right? So anyway, so those are that's the card that I was going to make today. Now, when I was going through and playing, trying to come up with what we were going to do at our 35 for 35 event, this was another card that was in contention for a little while, because it was able to show that you can stamp the holly and then cut it out. Here are the berries that I was talking about. You can stamp them and then die cut them. We have some holly leaves, and then this uses the other, um, these are the two different focal points. I like to call them focal points. I'm not really sure what else you would call them. But and then the paper is similar. This is the other berry paper. It doesn't have white berries on it, just the red berries. So anyway, so that just shows you another thing that you can do with that set. So coming back to here, I hope that you enjoyed seeing a sneak peek from the catalog and one of the new bundles coming. There are lots more coming. I wish I had the time to do a live every single day, and I just don't. But you can be sure that I'll be back next week with another sneak peek from the catalog. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or you want to see some more ideas, you can head to my Facebook page, which is Stampin' with Brenda, all one word. And my blog, which is brendamillersu.com. So I hope to see you somewhere along the line, and otherwise I'll see you next week at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.